last lesson, 5.7, there's going to be 4 different words we're talking about. Circumcenter, Incenter, Orthocenter, and Centroid, which we just did in lesson 5.6. So all of these words are dealing with some type of intersection point of a triangle. So I put each 4 going down, and then I put a picture, and then what they're formed by. So let's just talk about it, and then your Delta Math will be using this table to answer questions about the triangles you see, and I think you can figure it out using this. So first we have the circumcenter. Circumcenter is the center points, that would be D in this case. They're formed by perpendicular bisectors. So let's break that up. Perpendicular means that they're making 90s. So see how these dashed lines here are making right angles with the sides of the triangles? That's perpendicular. And then a bisector means that you're cutting something in half. Well, what are we cutting in half? The sides of the triangle. So see how here at E, it cut this AB in half. Here at F, it cut this and this in half. And then points G, cut AC in half. So you're looking at these little tick marks to tell you it's midway, and you're looking for the right angle marks to tell you it made 90s. And that's what it's going to say here. It's a description. Forms right angles at the midpoint of the triangle's sides. It bisects the sides. And then the next type of center you could see is called the incenter. I still remember one student said it's literally in the center. Well, they all are, but I can just remember it's in the center or in between the angles. I don't know, that's just kind of something my brain is stuck with, but it's taking the angles, the vertices of the triangle, and bisecting those. So it's formed by an angle bisector. So I see these tick marks saying that right here, this side of the angle is equal to this side. It cut it right in half, and that line goes to here. This one cut it in half, and it goes to here, and this one got cut in half. Goes to here. So when you see angle bisectors, that's called the incenter. And the next one is orthocenter. The orthocenter is formed by the altitude. So if you think of the altitude like you're climbing a mountain, that altitude, so let's say the mountain does this, the altitude is from the peak of the mountain down, so it's going to make a 90 with the ground. So what you'll see are 90s with these dashed lines in the sides of the triangle, but like point F is not in the middle of CB because I don't see the tick marks. You can tell G is not in the middle of CA and E is not in the middle of AB. So the difference between an orthocenter and a circumcenter is that circumcenter makes 90s and it's the midpoint versus orthocenter, it's just making 90s. And then we've got centroid. Centroid is the one we already talked about. That is formed by medians. And so the medians are simply the middle. So G is in the middle of CA. It's the midpoint, just connected to the opposite vertice. And so it's kind of like orthocenter and centroid have one of the characteristics of what circumcenter has. Circumcenter combines these two. So somehow you have to get to where you memorize the difference between the 4 of these.